Welcome back. In this video, I want to look at a really powerful feature of Godot and in fact most program or gaming engines, and that is the idea of a tile set. Now, we're not going to delve into the full tile set features here where we can do automated joining of different tiles, etc. We're just going to look at the most basic functionality of a tile set, which is going to make our game much easier to set up. So this is the platformer game that we've been working on in our class. And at the moment we have a tile scene. So if we look in our scene area here, we have a tile scene, which is made up of an area with a sprite and a collision shape. And for us to use this tile in our main scene here, we've had to place multiple tiles, or multiple scenes, I should say, into the world. And strictly speaking, that's fine. It does come with a bit of overhead for different scenes, and you can see in my scene tree over here, I've actually had to group these into a sort of a little folder area to try and keep that a little bit more neat. And it works, and it is technically okay, but it's a little bit cumbersome. So what I want to do here is talk about how we can use the tile set, and it's actually quite easy to begin with. So I'm actually going to start by removing all of these tiles because I'm not going to need them anymore. So I'm actually just going to delete that whole node altogether because all my tiles are in there at the moment and they are gone. Now what I'm going to be doing is adding into my main scene here a new node called a tile set, sorry. So if I just search for it in there, sorry, a tile map, my apologies, a tile map. Okay, so I have this new tile map node added as a child of my main scene. Now if I come along to my inspector, I can see the mode that I'm choosing is the square mode, and that's perfectly fine for this sort of platform, I guess. There are other modes that you can choose, but square is probably the most oftenly used, certainly for a platform game like this. And currently my tile set is empty. I don't have one. So I'm going to be creating a new tile set here. If you did have an existing tile set pre-made, you can just bring it in as a resource itself. I'm not going to go through any of these other properties at the moment. These are things you can look at. A lot of them are similar to other nodes that you will have seen, hopefully. So I'm just going to click on here and say a new tile set. Now, not much seems to have happened, but I do have a new tile set here. So if I click on this tile set now, it opens a new window down the bottom here. This is my tile set window. I'm just going to make this a little bit larger for the video purpose. Now, currently I have no textures and no tiles set up. So I'm going to come down here to my plus icon and add a new texture. Now, I'm going to be adding just a single tile, reusing the image that we already had from earlier, but this is often where you would have a set of tiles, often called a tile set image, and it might be made up of lots of different blocks and parts of these tiles that could join together in different ways. So I'm not going to go into that again here right now, but the concept is the same. So I'm going to add in an image. So again, I'm getting that from my assets folder and my sprites, and I'm just using this single tile here. So if I had, say, one of these bigger tile set images with, like, say, this tile and another one and maybe a one without grass on it, so on and so forth, I might have a big picture, and what I'm going to be choosing now is a region of that picture to make into an individual tile. So I'm going to edit that now, and I'm going to be choosing a region. Now at the moment, sorry, try that again. I'm going to be saying I want a new single tile, and now it's in the region mode, and I can choose which part of this image actually makes up the tile I'm using. I've also got the grid turned on at the moment, so I can turn it on and off there. I do like the grid because it makes it much easier to select. So the part that I'm selecting here will become the actual tile that I can use. So I'm going to select this whole shape at the moment, and that is now my tile. So if I was to now go back to my main game area, and I'm just going to make this smaller again, I would now be able to click on the tile map here, and you'll now see on the side I have my tiles, the tiles that I've made, and I've only got one, and it essentially replicates what I already had. So by clicking on this tile, instead of having to click one by one, I can essentially paint these tiles in. So I click and hold my left mouse button down, I can literally drag these tiles in and just draw with my tile set. Okay, so it's very, very easy now to add lots of tiles more efficiently than if I was clicking and placing tile scenes one by one. So I've essentially replicated my level very, very quickly now. But there is a problem that we need to come back and fix. So let's have a look. If I play this scene now, play my game, have a look what happens. My character has fallen through my tiles. They are there, but they have fallen through. And some of you might have already picked up where the problem is, and that is with my tile. So let's again click on my tile set. So I've got the tile map chosen. I'm clicking on my tile set to edit the actual tiles. And now I'm going to click on the tile that I've made and go back to edit mode, okay, of that tile. And you might have noticed next to the region where we chose which picture, so this is like choosing our sprite, we have a collision. And we haven't told it how to collide. So again, I might just make this a bit bigger for viewing purposes right now, and I'll zoom in a little bit. But if I now choose the collision box, again, I can choose a shape. So I'm just going to go with the standard rectangular shape for the moment. And I can again draw over this the parts that are going to be my collision. So my collision is now, like before, covering the entire shape. Okay, if I wanted to just collide with the top, for example, I could do that. Okay, my character could jump through the bottom part, but I want the whole thing, so I'm selecting across. And again, the grid helps to make this easier. I could turn it on and off, but it certainly makes it a bit easier if I've got the grid turned on. So again, going back to my game, nothing seems to have changed. I've still painted those in, but now these should have a collision. So if I play my game now, my character should again collide with these shapes just like it did before.